Onegaishimasu. Alright, so again we're asking questions on Instagram and we're getting some people who are volunteering questions, and we got another question that was that is hard to answer. The question was about knife, arma blancas, and we aren't quite sure what the participant wanted to see. If he wanted to see knife disarms, if he wanted to know how to use the knife, we're not exactly sure. So without more information, we can't give a definitive answer. However, we invite you to ask and give us specifics, and we'll give the audience more answers on how to handle a knife. So what we're going to do as a basic is to explain what we do in the Shingan Dojo. Alright, so what we have here is a series of training weapons and a series of real weapons. The first one is called tanto. It's Japanese for wood knife, and it's probably one of the safest to train with, although it doesn't give you a realistic idea of when you might possibly get cut. Next we have a rubber training knife, and it's pretty good in that it tells you where the handle is and it tells you where the back of the blade is, but it is too flexible to be a very good training knife. That is the way they wanted it designed, so that nobody actually gets punctured, as you might break a rib if it's a full stroke on a wood knife. Alright, then I have a shortened bokken. It was a wood sword that I cut, and that is to demonstrate huge bowies or machetes, which is pretty big out here in Panama. A lot of people carry machetes for gardening all over the place. Alright, and then my favorite is a dulled down tanto. This is a cold steel tanto that I have completely dulled down so that it does not cut. Sometimes, I've learned this through trial and error, sometimes the edge is not rounded enough, and if it moves quickly during training, it can still cut. My philosophy is that if you have a fighting knife, a knife that's on your fighting gear, or something that you use on a daily basis, then your training weapon should be exactly the same. The exact same everything. Size, weight, density. So it's sometimes hard to want to do something like that because you buy a knife at full price and then you're doling it down, and it probably is never going to get the good edge again. So it's now dedicated to training only. But it gives us a more realistic idea of what it's going to be like training with that particular weapon. And then I like to do the same thing for the folders that you carry on a daily basis. In this case, I lost my Spyderco during the move that has been dulled down. It's a dulled down folder, but that way I can get the practice of drawing it, getting it out, and training with it without it actually cutting. In this particular case, this is a live blade folder that I carry on a daily basis, so it is not a training knife. In any case, like I said before, it's hard to answer the question what to do with the knife if we don't have exact particulars. But we'll try. So, onegaishimasu. The most important thing that we're going to learn in dealing with a knife is the escape. The escape is the most important thing. If we have a single strong stroke, the escape is imperative. If we can elicit a single strong stroke, then the escape will help us stay safe. If we have multiple repeated attacks, then that's a whole different game. We're probably better off getting a superior weapon if we have it. So we're going to work the escape. We're going to check it to make sure it doesn't come back at us, using the forearm as the block. Unamas. Escape. And then we're going to raise it over the head, make sure it doesn't stroke the face. And before he can recover, we're going to distract with something. In this case, we're distracting with fingers into the face, but it can be fingers into the throat, it could be a punch to the nose, it can be almost any particular thing. Escape first, then the secondary attacks later. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to grab the back of the blade, making sure not to wrap around the front edge. Just the back of the blade. Tight. Fuerte. Good. I'm asking him to give me more strength so that you guys can see how we pry this out of the hand. We're going to secure the hand, make sure that it doesn't move, and then we're going to pry it out, simply prying out at the thumb. One more time. Remember, the escape is imperative. It's a single stroke. Escape, wrap, capture, attack, pry out. Not to grab the edge. The training blade will give us a little more understanding. Escape, attack, try it out. Okay, this time we're going to go through a stroke across the face. In this particular case, we're going to make the escape inward toward the attacker. Escape and block inward toward the attacker. This is where it gets dangerous. If he lets go from this break, it may fall on the foot, but I'm going to move the foot out of the way, and then I'm going to lock up the elbow. I grabbed it from under so I don't lose my lock. One more time, stroke to the face. Escape inward, both hands up. Small distraction. Elbow lock. Sweeping takedown. Lock up the elbow, or not. Pry it out of the thumbs. Arigatou gozaimashita. Arigatou gozaimashita.